you know, toward Asia, the ratio of volumes which we are producing also for the China market is increasing very fast over the time. So now let's go a little bit to the story. Here is said the birthplace of common rail, and this is the truth. Maybe it's not that known, but Bari, so that far away in south of Italy, is exactly the place where the idea of common rail was at first thought and then brought to the production on the lines. And here you see the first engine and also the first car which was equipped by a common rail system belonging to Bosch as a pioneer system in the early 1990s. This car, this is a Fiat Croma, is the first car which was equipped, is the car that you find in an Ono parking place at the entrance of our plant if you will be visiting us, and is for sure underlining which is our contact to Fiat, an history which is linking us and which is going back to the 1990s. So we are very proud of this. We were the pioneers and the beginnings in terms of new ideas developed for the engine market. But to understand exactly what does it mean for Bari, I had to bring to you some more information about Italy and the region itself. This is the region inside Italy where we are working. It's called Apulia. It's a very beautiful region, but as usually in Italy and South Italy, we have some problems and also some challenges which we had to take into account to understand how could be our profile, our approach to our business. And the main challenges which we are changing are following. We are living in a region where the GDP per capita, referring to 2012, is less the Italian average. So it's a level of 66.5%. We are living and working, and we are active in a region where the unemployment rate is 20%, and is dramatically jumping up to 40% if we only take into account people which are younger than 25 years. So these are really challenges which we are facing and in respect to which we have to ask ourselves how we can move, how we can invent, how we can be excellent, improve in such a boundary condition. For sure, we also take into account, that there are some strong points which are building up opportunities for us. So we have a large availability of technical graduates and professionals in the region, which has to be put in a strong link with the fact that we have technologies at university which are working with us on a daily basis. And there is a high determination on the political side in the region to support our industrial activities. So the starting point of everything which we have done until now and what we are going to do in the future is that we have to try to build opportunities in a very challenging environment, which is linked to the actual economical situation. And so, which has been our starting point, which has led us then to the good results of last year, has been the thought that basically what we are a production plant. We have to produce component, and so we have to start from the basics. And we identified the basics in this. We want to be excellent at first in what we do daily, in our operational, to then develop in something different. And to gain an excellence in this field, we said, okay, we have to focus at first on the basis, the things which cannot be missed if you want to reach excellence in the operationals, which are quality, cost, and delivery. So we said, let's focus on quality, cost, and delivery. Let's try to be the best on that. And to do that, to be the best on quality, cost, and delivery, we identified our own way to a lean manufacturing approach, which in the Bosch world is called BPS, Bosch Production System. And we said, okay, this is our path, these are our tools which can lead us to be excellent here. I will explain later on a little bit what BPS is. By applying and using the tools of BPS, we were in the position over the last 6-7 years of getting a constant improvement of our KPIs. Here you only see the trends, not the numbers. The numbers are not important. The trends are only telling us which we could get the momentum we need to arrive exactly to what was at the very beginning already our target state. And by obtaining this kind of results in terms of KPI and performances, we were also rewarded with some prize which were in our lecture only the confirmation that we were moving on the right path. All this was closing the loop by determining our future, because based on these results, we convinced the upper management of the Bosch Group, which, as I was saying before, is a much bigger reality than the plant itself, to let us get a new production in Bari, this gear pump of which I'm responsible and which we get in year 2013. So a whole new production in southern Italy instead of somewhere else all over the world, taking also into account that southern Italy is no low-cost country. And so the decision could have been different, but based on this result, it was taken like this, and we are proud of this. So this has been the first step in our path to excellence. And soon afterwards, we have started to think, okay, now on the operational side, we are where we wanted to be. For sure, we have to stabilize it. We have to keep on this track. But we have to ask ourselves in a strategic way what we want to do for the future, how we want to guarantee our business in these boundary conditions for the future. And that's the point where, by being inspired, I will say also, by the model of the EFQM, we started thinking more in a strategic way. We identified our strategic planning cycle, which is not that different from any planning cycle in a strategic way for other company, but also only we tried to be very coherent with it. So we made the first strategy review, which we now perform once every year, by identifying our stakeholder and competitor and analyzing if we could brighten a little bit the portfolio of stakeholder and competitor. We made our SWOT analysis in terms of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and trends. And by this SWOT analysis, we could land to our vision that in next slide I will explain to you. Once the vision is in our hand, we say, okay, let's define business plan and balance scorecard. Business plan, which has to take into account also the inputs that a plant, a manufacturing plant as ours, is receiving from the central department, and then a balance scorecard with all the targets and the KPI, which we think are the most important, the most relevant to close the loop of the strategic planning cycle. And having defined these numbers, so to say, or this target, better said, we started the individual targets deployment. So the balance scorecard at the top management level was deployed at the lower level so that all the plant, each of the people working on the plant has been pushed on the same direction. This is the cycle, and through this cycle, we arrive to define in this sentence what we want to be. We want to be a plant who challenges and delivers. We want to challenge ourselves to do something better, something new, something greater. We want to challenge the market in a situation when the market has its own difficulty. We want to challenge the competitors, not only the external one, but even the internal one. Because as I said, the complexity is Bosch is bigger than that. And we want to challenge, but for sure we want to deliver. So anytime we fix a target, we want to reach that target. And here we are not speaking about a numeric target, we are speaking about strategical ones. And with this concept in mind, we identified which is our strategy, which is the actual one, and we are working on that. And the strategy is built up in 3 main directions. The basis is, for sure, we want to increase our breakthrough in profitability. I say it is the basis because without profitability in a high-cost country as Italy, we don't have that good future. So we have to be profitable. Then we want to enlarge our product portfolio. We have seen we have some components we are already producing. We have been pioneering these components, but for sure the technique is going on very fast. And so we want to enlarge our product portfolio. And to do that, we want to work very strictly with the customers as our preferred partners. And since the history, since the car you have already seen is telling us that we have a good relationship for Fiat, we have identified as a first step Fiat as a first pilot customer with whom to speak about our strategy. Define the strategy, we said, okay, again, FQM model thinking, how can we go towards this strategy? Which are the enablers that can help us reach these targets? And we defined our road to excellence, the way we called it. So we defined 10 contents which, according to us, could enable, could help us, could allow us to reach these 3 elements of our strategy. I will not read all of them, but just a pair. For example, leadership to challenge and deliver, competent employees working with passion, marketing for new products and customers. And by reading it, it's clear that there is a certain assonance to the FQM model. So we were inspired by the FQM model in doing that. I've called this being enablers, and it was not a casually chosen word, because once we defined this, we were already asking how we can influence any or each of these elements. And so I just put here 2 examples. We said, if we have the right leadership, a leadership who is willing to challenge and deliver and to get these results, for sure, we will be able to influence and then reach all the 3 parts of our strategic thinking and projecting. As for an example, on the other side, if we are working strongly on this, for sure we will be able in enlarging our product portfolio. So we enlarge our competence, the portfolio will come. This was the thinking behind it. And to put it not only on paper, but to put it, to make it alive, we defined a structure, which I brought here. And in this structure, any and each of these road to excellence element formed up a team coordinated by a guy who is normally already a function manager, leading this and doing his day-by-day job at the same time. So we were not building, we could not do that. We were not building an additional structure, but we were trying to integrate this strategic job to the daily job because the aim was making the strategic thinking, acting spread all over in the plant. And so there was a strategic core team. There is, this is not history, it's the actuality, the way we work on these items. A strategic core team where the plant management of a body is directly involved and some functions are involved, myself there, which are then coordinating with a certain frequency the activities of this team. And any of each team is working and focusing on specific projects which are aimed to the 3 strategic directions I was referring to before. So far, in terms of organization, strategic thinking, and whatsoever,